When most people hear that a plan is switching 401k advisors, they picture a total nightmare. They think that there's going to be a ton of paperwork, there's going to be a ton of administrative responsibilities, and employees are going to have to change their stuff online. They're going to have to do paperwork. They're going to get confused and frustrated and ask HR, why do we have to change? But the truth is, it's really much easier than most people think. And actually, one of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that switching advisors means that you have to completely change your entire 401k plan. And in fact, this is not the case most times. You're really just going to change the advisor on the plan. So when we think about what needs to change, really the record keeper and the third-party administrator, those are not things that are required to change when you change an advisor. The plan structure pretty much stays the same, including what your plan document looks like, the plan provisions. If you want to, again, keep your third-party administrator, employees likely won't even realize that a change has happened. But what should be changing is the level of support and the service that you are receiving, as well as the guidance and the education that your advisor should be able to provide. So in other words, you're not really starting over. Hopefully, you're just upgrading the relationship. So what does this process look like if you are going to change your 401k advisor? The typical transition is really just paperwork. The first set of paperwork should be executing an agreement with your advisor. And if you are engaging with a fiduciary advisor, this agreement should detail whether you are engaging as a 321 or a 338 advisor. And what is the difference between those? Well, your 321 fiduciary would be a co-fiduciary and your 338 would be a full fiduciary. In that agreement, it should also spell out the fees that your advisor is charging, as well as the services that they're going to provide. The next document should accompany that advisory agreement, and that is what's called an investment policy statement. And that investment policy statement is really the roadmap in how the advisor is going to manage the investment fund lineup. Once those agreements have been completed, it's really then the paperwork with your record keeper. So your record keeper is going to want to be able to show the name of your advisor on your plan. You'll also want to ensure that your advisor has access to your plan through the record keeper's website. And lastly, if the plan is going to be paying the advisor's fees, that would need to be set up properly. And pretty much that is really it. And most of that paperwork, as you can see, is behind the scenes where the employees have not been affected at all. So then the real question is, why even bother switching 401k advisors in the first place? Well, in today's world, plans are really evolving at a very quick pace. And what that means is that fees have been coming down and services have actually been increased and increased in terms of what your record keeper and or your payroll or your third-party administrator and your advisor can be providing to you. So when you think about changing your 401k advisor, things that could be ultimately changed are reduced fees, more proactive service, and hopefully less administrative work for your HR team. If your plan hasn't been reviewed in a few years, a simple check-in could reveal opportunities to not only save money, but time. Switching your 401k advisor should not be a hassle. It should absolutely be an upgrade. I can show you what a smooth transition can look like and hopefully what you should be expecting from your advisor.